The market is once again dipping, which is presenting us with a unique opportunity to get in altcoins cheap. I personally don't believe this run is over just yet, and I see us going much higher, meaning this could be the last chance we actually have to accumulate certain altcoins at low levels. Now, I've done a ton of research over the past couple months. Those of you following me already know I've managed to pick some major winners like Rollbit, which is up, I believe, like 6x since my video. We've got Lido, FXS, etc. I'm essentially going to tell you guys about my current top 10 picks for the market. This is a culmination of all my research I've done in the last couple months. If you do appreciate these deep research videos, make sure you do smash up that like button and subscribe with the bell notification turned on so you guys get the latest up-to-date information on the altcoin market. I'm not your financial advisor. This video is not financial advice. I don't have a crystal ball that allows me to know what coins are about to pump. I could be completely wrong. Make sure you do read the disclaimers I have in this video, and on top of that, make sure you do join my altcoin research discord for a live list of all the interesting projects I am currently following. So before I get into an updated list of my favorite projects, I do want to update you guys on my opinions on the chart. So we have taken a pretty significant dip from the highs. A lot of people are starting to flip bearish, but as a whole, Bitcoin is still sitting on top of an area of support. You can see this red line right here is basically where we topped out at during this area of consolidation. We could even drop a little bit lower and it would still be considered support. I'm honestly not too worried. I still see us being overall in an uptrend, and I just think this is another shakeout before we do get that next leg up to 30,000 US dollars. Now, the first two coins are going to be Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's common knowledge that smaller cap altcoins tend to be more volatile and tend to explode more, but I think that mainly only applies to full-on bull markets. I have high conviction we're not in a bull market, but we're in an echo bubble. And yeah, during the last echo bubble in 2019, we actually saw majors outperform smaller cap altcoins. I actually remember holding a bunch of small cap coins during this run up and then basically doing nothing as the major altcoins made major strides. So yeah, let's actually get into the charts. Bitcoin made a 320% move to the upside during this echo bubble. Ethereum made a 350% move to, in that echo bubble. Then let's now move on to some altcoins. So Cardano only went up 291%, and boom, we can keep going. Neo, a very popular altcoin at the time as well, only went up 281%. And on top of that, what you need to consider is that not only did these altcoins actually perform less than the major altcoins, but they also went down a lot further, as you know, smaller cap coins are way more risky. Now, I can go through a bunch more altcoins, but my personal experience back then was literally the fact that Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some of the top altcoins at the time were the major gainers, and the small cap coins didn't move much. Now, yes, there are exceptions, which I'm going to get into in this video, and that's why Bitcoin and Ethereum, in my opinion, are still probably the best altcoins to get into, especially if you just don't know what you're doing. So for those of us who want to be a bit more degenerate and find more risky plays, there are some potential coins that I can see outperforming Bitcoin and Ethereum. The first one has to be the liquid staking derivative tokens. So what I have here is Ethereum's chart, and what I have here is Lido, the largest liquid staking derivative for Ethereum. And you can see more or less this chart right here basically follows Ethereum perfectly. You can see that, you know, on basically the exact same day, Ethereum moved up, Lido also moved up right here, except that Lido was way more volatile to the upside, and instead of just going up a few percentages like Ethereum, this thing more than doubled in price and actually did a full 3x. So why exactly are these two coins correlated? It is because fundamentally they are more or less in the same bucket. So liquid staking derivatives like Lido essentially allow you to take your Ethereum tokens and easily stake them to earn some yield rewards. Now, this is a very hot topic because the Shanghai update is just around the corner. This will finally allow for people who staked their Ethereum to withdraw their Ethereum from staking it. And this right here is what I believe a bunch of people are waiting for to stake their Ethereum. People are scared that, you know, maybe the Shanghai upgrade will go wrong, you know, your Ethereum will be locked up for much longer, etc. But when it is official and you can finally withdraw, then I believe, you know, people are going to start pouring their money into these liquid staking derivatives and hopefully making the underlying tokens absolutely explode. So I've chosen Lido as it is the largest liquid staking derivative. It has 8 billion in total value locked, but as we get closer and closer, and as we actually surpass the Shanghai Shanghai upgrade, I reckon this number is going to increase dramatically. There are a few important dates to announce. First up, we've got February the 28th, which is when we will see the test network for the Shanghai upgrade, and then the full Shanghai upgrade will be coming sometime in March. So we are getting genuinely close to this upgrade, which is why I believe Lido and a bunch of these other liquid staking derivatives have a good chance of outperforming. Following on the liquid staking derivative trend, we have FracShare, simply because numbers wise this is very good. So this is the fastest growing liquid staking protocol right now. Just in the last 30 days, this thing has grown by about 40%, which as you can see is miles better than all its competitors, and that is simply because it offers the highest yield. Because FracShare is not just a pure liquid staking derivative, it also has its own DeFi ecosystem which can boost the yield of people that decide to stake with it. Guys, a lot of the times finding a narrative you truly believe in and picking the winners is one of the best ways to make money in crypto. So once again, we've got another liquid staking derivative, but this is a small cap one, sitting at only 27 million US dollars, fully diluted valuation of 182 million. Now this is a coin called Stader, and I believe this has good potential to take over a decent chunk of the liquid staking derivative world because of its unique feature, which is a 4 Ethereum bond. Right now you need 32 Ethereum exactly to be able to stake on Lido, and it's more or less the same for a bunch of these other liquid staking derivatives. You need a ton of Ethereum, but a lot of the times retail and small players, I'm sure quite a few of you watching this, just don't have 32 Ethereum and you still want to earn liquid staking rewards. So boom, we've got Stader, which you can now stake with only 4 Ethereum. Now they haven't released their product just yet, it's still in development, but I believe something like this is a fantastic product and this could take decent market share in the liquid staking derivative area. So do you guys remember how I talked about Lido being beta to Ethereum? Well, this thing right here is beta to all of the liquid staking derivatives. It is a protocol called Redacted. To understand Redacted finance, you need to understand the fact that the entire Ethereum DeFi ecosystem is turning into a massive Ponzi as to how much yield you can get on your staked Ethereum. We already see a bunch of these liquid staking derivatives all competing to offer as high yield as possible, but this is only going to get more degenerate as all these liquid staking protocols are also going to start competing to take over other DeFi applications and divert their yield into their liquid staking derivative to keep all their users. So one very popular protocol right now is Curve, and we're seeing coins like Frax literally buy up a ton of voting power in Curve so that they can boost their Frax rewards, and that is one way as to how Frax is able to offer such high yield. Redacted finance is essentially going to be the backbone of that entire Ponzi movement, as they have very cool products such as Hidden Hand. So Hidden Hand is a marketplace for governance incentives, commonly referred to as bribes. Protocols can leverage Hidden Hand to enable more efficient governance processes and engage their voters. So essentially, if you are running your own liquid staking derivative and you want to start to take over other DeFi protocols and start to divert, the yield from them into your own liquid staking derivative, you may really want to go through something like Hidden Hand. So this right here is essentially profiting from war that all these different liquid staking derivatives are having with each other. But not only that, they have a pretty cool product they are about to release called Dinero. Now this will be a stable coin fully backed by staked Ethereum. Now they haven't released the white paper on it just yet, so a few of the details are still pretty unknown, but this could be massive. Imagine holding just a stable coin and earning like 4% yield or even more just simply by holding your own stable coin. That is what Dinero could offer. Alright, you guys are probably getting bored of me talking about liquid staking derivatives, so let's move on. Let's now talk about my next pick, which is Chainlink. Chainlink is very interesting because during the 2019 Echo bubble, this thing was basically the biggest gainer. This thing went from like 43 cents all the way to 4.6 cents. So this thing literally did a 10x during the Echo bubble, which is much better than all the other altcoins and much better than Bitcoin and Ethereum, most importantly. And Chainlink is very unique because it is used essentially by more or less every single application in DeFi. You can see right here, it's used by Aave, Synthetics, Compound, ENS, basically everything uses Chainlink. Chainlink is essentially a way to bridge data from the real world onto blockchains. That's basically all it does, and yeah, that is very useful for things such as price feeds for decentralized exchanges, etc. But more importantly, they're actually working with major players such as Swift, which a bunch of people still seem to have forgotten. Swift has announced they're literally using the Chainlink cross-chain interoperability protocol as a proof of concept, and if they do like it, CCIP and Chainlink could be integrated into every single central bank in the world, basically. So my whole point is the fact that Chainlink fundamentals are still rock solid. I don't think this is going anywhere, and I think it's only a matter of time before this thing does a major run. And what's very interesting is if we take a look at the Chainlink chart, we can see that unlike all these other coins, it just hasn't moved. It's still sitting in this consolidation zone, and a lot of the times, guys, the longer a coin consolidates, the more time we have to build up that spring before we eventually let it run. And I do believe that one day this thing will go absolutely crazy. So we see a coin with good fundamentals that hasn't yet moved with the market, that in my opinion is bound to move, and boom, we have Chainlink. Next up is another group of coins. I don't want to just pick one because, you know, this is extremely massive, but yeah, it is essentially just layer 2s on top of Ethereum. Now, a bunch of these have not yet released tokens, and those are the ones that I am very, very curious about. So firstly, we have Arbitrum. They haven't released a token yet, but in my opinion, they are very likely gonna release one. So it is very important that, you know, if they do an airdrop, you guys do use the Arbitrum layer 2. I think, you know, something like Arbitrum could easily become like a top 10 project in terms of market cap. This thing has already surpassed the likes of Solana in terms of usage and TVL, and I believe it is only going to grow from here. Arbitrum is literally the main way Ethereum is currently scaling, so this thing once again should be rivaling the likes of BNB, Cardano, Polygon eventually. Some other layer 2s you guys should keep your eyes on are also ZK Sync. You can see right here, it hasn't been fully released yet because it's a zero knowledge proof. They're more complex and team are still building it out, but yeah, this should have the first ZK EVM. Pretty complex tech, but really cool. And also Aztec is the first private layer 2. Guys, I think we need to get more degenerate. So here is a micro cap altcoin I absolutely love. It is JPEG'd, only sitting at a market cap of $20 million US. Now, NFTs are very interesting. It is the only narrative that just hasn't come back yet. We've seen, you know, DeFi come back with the whole liquid staking derivative thing happen. We've seen, you know, the ZK narrative, etc. We've kind of cycled through a bunch of these narratives, but we just haven't went through the biggest narrative, the mother of all narratives, which was NFTs. And guys, I think JPEG is primed to gain a ton from the NFT narrative taking off. JPEG essentially just allows you to deposit your NFTs and earn up to 70% in yield, literally just like that. It's just a very cool idea that I can see catching on. I mean, why wouldn't you want to earn yield on your NFT? This seems like, you know, something that's just very obvious. People are going to deposit their NFTs and earn yield, guys. So yeah, that is why I see JPEG taking off, and with a market cap of only $20 million US, when the NFT narrative does come back, which hopefully it does, I don't see how this thing won't explode. Now, before I do get into my last pick, I want to remind you that if you want to have a live list of all the projects I am following, you can do so for free by simply just joining my Discord in the link below. There's a ton of projects I don't really talk about on this channel that I am following very closely. Last but not least, we have Aleo. Now, this has the chance to be the best gainer on this channel, and that says a lot because, you know, right now I believe the best gainer I had was Avalanche, which went from 50 cents to like, I think like $150 US. But yeah, this right here is something I'm extremely bullish on, and that is because it is going to be the first fully scalable and fully private smart contract platform. I'm not sure how long it's going to take, guys. Aleo is a long-term hold for me, but privacy is probably the biggest narrative cryptocurrencies are eventually going to have, and that is because you can't really have mass adoption in crypto without privacy. You can't use Ethereum for payments if everyone can just literally look at your address and see how much money you have and where all your money is going. Not only that, but governments can also easily crack down on basically any public chain because everything is public. They can see who you are, what you do with your money, etc. And guys, realistically, you just can't really use that for mass adoption. So in the next few years, when people do finally start using cryptocurrencies for real life things, I believe privacy is going to be a massive narrative. And yeah, Aleo are the furthest along with building a truly private, scalable, usable blockchain for the masses. So essentially, they built a fully private layer 1 1, and they built a custom fully private layer 2 on top of that, meaning that because, you know, they're using the layer 1, layer 2 kind of infrastructure, they can scale up to 32,000 transactions per second, all whilst once again be completely private and offering smart contracts. This thing is so important, it actually raised like over 200 million from some of the best investors around the world. We've got A16 behind this, Tiger Global, even SoftBank has invested into Aleo. So I'm very, very excited. Once again though, there's no token out there, but when the token does finally come, I will probably be the first to cover it. So I am extremely excited for that. That is it for this video. Those are the top 10 projects I am currently watching. If you do want to have more of an in-depth list, once again, I do have a free Discord you guys can join. Thank you guys for watching, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.